Okay, so I was wrong about the Royals winning the World Series. Um, I was almost spot on until the Game 7, and I knew it was going to be a close game even. And but I also said that they could change the story, so I wasn't betting on it, but it just seemed like the Royals were set up to win. But um, there's all kinds of things that were in this game too, and there was a bunch of things that I didn't even put together until after it was over, and it actually makes a little bit of sense as to why the Giants won. So in my last video, I showed the intro to the World Series, and it showed a whole bunch of numbers, and it said that numbers control everything in baseball. I mean, they were literally putting it in your face. But there was 32 and 23 were in that. If you look at that video again, they really put 32 and 23 in your face, like multiple times. It's bigger, bolded, whatever. And the Giants just so happened to win 3-2. So you got your 32 and your 23 again. It was also the Giants' third World Series win in 5 years. So you have your 3 5s, and I've talked about all throughout this World Series and other games. I talked about the 2s, the 5s, the 6s, and the 8s, because they put them in there like crazy. So once again, the Giants won. This is the third World Series in the last 5 years. So you got 3 5s there. Before the game started, it showed that the temperature was 55 degrees and the wind was 5 miles an hour. And the guy who was umpiring is this guy right here, and he was wearing number 5 behind the guy umping behind the plate. I guess I just consider him the main umpire, but so he was number 5. And if you read through some of his stuff here, he was born in 1966 in November. November has just been everywhere lately. He was drafted in the 22nd round when he played baseball. His last major league game was on June 2nd, 2006, which is literally 6 and 2, which is 2 6s, and then 2006. So it's his last appearance was on 666. I mean, it's crazy. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other more stuff in here about him that involves this, but I didn't really even look that deep into it. But yeah, I'm gonna move on here. Also, again, the second inning was huge in this game, and I mean, look at it. It was the second inning. They both scored 2 runs, so you have 2-2-2. So in the second inning, when they scored the 2 runs, the bases were loaded, and number 38, 3/8, got a base hit and scored the first run. The base hit that he had was on the 22nd pitch. Then for the second run that the Giants scored in the second inning, number 35 hit a long fly ball, so he got 3 5s or an 8. He hits a long fly ball, and it scores Hunter Pence, who is number 8, and it gives them the second run. And then they finished out the inning with number 2 Lopez striking out. Then when Kansas City was up to bat in the second inning, Billy Butler, number 16, which 16 is 2/8. Billy Butler is 2 B's, and B's look like 8s, so his initials would be BB, which is 88. His number 16, he looks like, which is 2/8, but he hits a single to get on base. And then number 4, Gordon, he's the next batter up, and he hits a long double on the 22nd pitch, actually, in the second, and it scored Billy Butler. And I, for some reason, I don't have it written down. I don't know how the inning ended. I don't know how they got their second run, but and I don't have time to get on my DVR and look. So, but anyway, it's still significant. Like he also hits the 22nd pitch to score the first run in the second, and there's just all kinds of crazy stuff with 2s and 5s and whatnot. So then I had talked about how it was set up to be the Olympians versus the Titans, and the 10-year war that they fought, and Zeus killed Cronus with a lightning bolt, and then they became the main gods or whatever. And but anyway, so the Titans are older than the Olympians, and in the World Series, the big talk was that they started Tim Hudson, this guy, and he is the oldest person ever to pitch in the World Series. So in the Titanomachy with the Olympians versus the Giants, um, so the Olympians won, but what they did here is they manipulated the story, I think, and they made it so the Titans would win, just to change history or change, their perspective of it. And what I'm talking about here is that the number 8 actually represents new beginnings. So, like it says here, the 8th day was new after God rested. There are 7 days in a week, and the 8th day is a new beginning. So basically, what I think they might have done was they manipulated the story so Cronus and the Titans could start a new beginning. Or maybe it's just a new beginning altogether with something completely different. Like maybe because, and why I say that is because, and maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's somebody else's new beginning. And the Giants are representing something other than the Titans. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the war that I was talking about between the Olympians and the Titans was actually a 10-year war. Well, in Game 6 of the World Series here, the Royals won 10-0. So maybe this was the end of that war, the Game 6, and then Game 7 is the new beginning. So, I mean, I don't know for sure. Like I said, I'm just throwing out a theory here because all these numbers seem to have led up to something, and I literally have noticed it in every game since like the beginning of October when I started watching all this and started really seeing it like crazy. I knew it was going to happen because it was October. But anyway, so like this could have been the end of that war, and then Game 7 was the beginning, the new beginning of something else. Maybe it was the new beginning of, a whole different idea or something. I don't really know for sure, but all I know is that everything pointed to the Royals, I thought, until I started looking into a few more things here, and I'm going to show you that now too. Okay, so the 8s have to do with I can't believe I never noticed this, but the 8s have to do with time travel and just time in general. Just like Back to the Future, 88 miles an hour. There's so many other references. I can't think of them off the top of my head. But Back to the Future just is so popular it stands out. But so 8s do have to do with time travel and whatnot and time. And Cronus was Zeus's father, and Zeus tried to overthrow him, or did overthrow him, but that's what the whole war was between. He was a Titan, and he was like the leader of the Titans. And so basically, Cronus was the Titan god of time and the ages. Cronus was the god of time. So I can't believe I never put that together, that like it makes more sense for the Titans to win, considering there's been 8s like crazy this year, and he is the god of time. Like, so he has to win, doesn't he? I just never put it together. Oh yeah, and sorry, I'm backtracking a little bit, but so another theory I had for the new beginnings was something to do with Prometheus, because Prometheus was actually a Titan, but he could see the future, him and his brother, and they knew that the Titans were going to lose the war, so they decided to side with the Olympians. And then later on, Prometheus gave man fire and whatnot. Just oh, it's hard to explain, but yeah, he gave man fire, and then Zeus was mad about it or whatever, and he punished him, and he had him every day he had to get his liver ate by a, can't remember what it was, a giant bird or something, and then it grew back, and he had to do that for eternity until Hercules came and saved him. So uh, in a way, like, I just did that video on the Hermes Trismegistus, and maybe it's a new beginning for people that believe in Hermeticism, or however you say it. Maybe, and that all ties in with Luciferianism and a bunch of other things. So maybe that is the new beginning as well. Um, Also, I'm gonna throw it in here. Just so much information, but the pitcher who was the MVP of the World Series, he came in and he threw for 5 innings as well. So, I mean, there's just another 5 for you. And I guess what I mean by Prometheus is that, like, so he sided with Zeus, and then Zeus punished him for something completely different, and he was a Titan to begin with. So maybe he decided to rise up again or whatever, and now there's like some new like story they're trying to create and make Prometheus rise up, the rising of Lucifer, the rising. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at, I guess. Who knows? It's just a theory. Okay, so remember my video about the Ultimate Warrior and Daniel Bryan looks like Jesus, said he wanted to fight Jesus, but he would lose. He's even all about the GOAT, and he fought Triple H, which is 3/8, and he won WrestleMania XXX, and X equals the Antichrist. And I said he's representing the Antichrist. So this video was on Yahoo. It was one of the on the homepage, so I mean, I didn't really have to even look for it. I guess he must be a Giants fan, I guess here the Giants, after WrestleMania this year, they did his signature trademark thing where he said, Daniel Bryan in wrestling says, "Yes, yes, yes," and he points his fingers up in the air. And the Giants started doing that. This article's back in May 13th, but the Giants started doing that all year long. So I just find it interesting, I guess, that this is even an article, and I talked about Daniel Bryan. They're representing him as as an Antichrist, and then they do this. So like when there's a video somewhere where like Hunter Pence hits a home run, there we go, right here. They're doing the yes, yes, yes in this little video here. I'm gonna play the this little clip that was on Yahoo. I don't know if you can even hear that because I forgot I have to use a microphone that doesn't work worth a crap. But basically he's just doing his yes, yes, yes after the Giants win the World Series. And it's just kind of funny to me, I guess. It's weird that I make a video about that and then I find out the Giants actually do that. Anyway, I just wanted to explain myself a little bit and a few things that I might have missed that could explain, why I didn't predict it correctly or whatever. And who knows, I could be completely wrong. But I just look into this stuff, and it's crazy how much the numbers align, and that's how they do it. And but they can change it however they please. So I don't even know what else to say. So I'm just gonna say peace and have a great night.